Did you ever wondered how did the practice of shaking hands started? These days shaking hands become common among people to greet one another. Wherever and whenever people meet, they generally shake hands. However, most people do not know how this practice began. Let us have a look on it. In ancient times, the hands were considered a symbol of power and strength. Because the hand was used for fighting enemies, killing animals, and for making weapons, in the absence of a developed language. When somebody extended a hand to someone, it was taken to be a gesture of goodwill and friendship. The practice of shaking hands originated in Greece. The early Greeks used to hold out the right hand when they wished to express friendship to a stranger. Gradually, this tradition became so popular that it became a normal practice. Today, whenever we meet some acquaintance or friend, we automatically extend our right hand to greet him. The hand was regarded as a symbol of power in the early religions. The Greeks prayed to their gods with raised hands. Being greeted by someone with folded hands was considered an honor. This custom still continues in India and some other countries in Asia. Among the Arabs, it was customary at one time to kiss the hand of a superior to express respect, therefore, it gradually to an end. Archaeological ruins and ancient texts show that handshaking was practiced in ancient Greece as early as the 5th century BC. For example, a depiction of two soldiers shaking hands can be found on part of a 5th century BC funerary stele that is on display in Berlin's Pergamon Museum, stele SK 1708, and on other funerary steles, such as one from the 4th century BC that depicts Thrasea and his wife Euandria shaking hands. One of the earliest known depictions of a handshake is an ancient Assyrian relief of the 9th century BC depicting the Assyrian king Shalmaneser III shaking the hand of the Babylonian king Marduk-Zakir-Shemai to seal an alliance. Hera and Athena handshaking, at late 5th century BC, on Acropolis Museum, Athens. Modern usage of handshakes became even more widespread and standardized in the modern era, particularly in the business and diplomatic worlds. In the 19th and 20th centuries, handshakes became a common way to greet and establish trust between individuals in Western societies. The handshake is commonly done upon meeting, greeting, parting, offering congratulations, expressing gratitude, or as a public sign of completing a business or diplomatic agreement. In sports, it is also done as a sign of good sportsmanship. Its purpose is to convey trust, respect, balance, and equality. Tennis player shaking hands after match for equality. Shaking with the right hand while delivering a certificate with the left hand. 10 types of handshakes: 1 sweaty palms handshake, 2 dead fish handshake, 3 the politician handshake, 4 control handshake, 5 brush off handshake, 6 finger vice handshake, 7 upper hand handshake, 8 bone crusher handshake, 9 lobster claw handshake, 10 teacup handshake. Sweaty palms handshake. This type of handshake indicates nervousness since it has caused the other person to have clammy, sweaty palms. It can also be caused due to underlying health conditions, therefore, be patient before judging anyone for it. Dead fish handshake. Handshakes like this one can make the receiver uncomfortable. The person makes no effort to return the handshake, does not grip the hand, and thus feels like a dead fish. The politician handshake, also called the two-handed handshake, this can be seen as friendly or overbearing, depending on whether the person knows you well or not, respectively. Control handshake. If the person grips your hand tightly and seems to be leading you elsewhere, they may be engaging in the control handshake. It could indicate a desire to lead the conversation or discussion. Brush off handshake. Possibly one of the most disrespectful handshakes, this may be off-putting to the receivers. It is marked by the person quickly grabbing your hand and releasing it by pushing it aside. It may indicate intolerance and unwillingness to listen to your views. Finger vice handshake. A handshake is meant to keep the receiver at a distance, be it out of dislike, superiority complex, or power play. It is especially uncomfortable if they squeeze your fingers while holding them. Upper hand handshake. In this handshake, the person initially holds your hand normally and then twists it, such that their own hand is on top. This may indicate a superiority complex on their part. Bone crusher handshake. It could be an intimidating or playful move, where the person crushes your fingers. Lobster claw handshake. In this handshake, the other person's thumb and fingers touch the palm of your hands. This may indicate that the person is unable to open up and form relationships easily. Teacup handshake. The handshake does not involve palm-to-palm contact, since the other person is cupping your hand. It may mean that the person is trying to maintain a certain distance since they do not want to have too much contact. The world record. Diaz de Leon and friend Matt Holmes recently reached for a Guinness World Record for the world's longest handshake. While the attempt still needs to be certified by Guinness, the duo shook hands continuously for 43 hours and 35 minutes. The previous record was 42 hours 05 minutes. Disadvantage of handshaking. Handshakes are known to spread a number of microbial pathogens. A medical study has found that fist bumps and high fives spread fewer germs than handshakes. The Dean of Medicine at the University of Calgary, Tomas Feasby, suggested that fist bumps may be a nice replacement of the handshake. Fist bump. Fist bump is a gesture of greeting or affirmation in which two people lightly tap each other's clenched fist. High five. A gesture of celebration or greeting in which two people slap each other's palms with their arms raised.